Well, some of you have noticed this truck in the background of a couple of the more recent videos here, and we're finally getting around to getting this truck set up. This is my uncle's truck. He bought this back in April, towards the tail end of April, and we just not have had time to get to it until now. So this is a 2023 Freightliner SD114. We bought a couple of these back a few years ago. There was 4 of them for sale altogether. We bought 2. He ended up buying 1 of them, and between the 2 of us, we both think that we should have bought the 4th one. He found this truck. This one is equipped the same as the other one that he has. If you recall, a year or so ago, we ended up building a silage box and a rail system for his other truck that is just like this one. The only difference between this truck and his 2014 model is this one has a Cummins engine in it, and the 2014 models have a Detroit DD13. These are equipped with the Allison automatic transmission, and they make a real nice silage truck. Got tough track rear suspension, full lock and rears, the whole 9 yards. So what we're getting ready to do now is we are getting ready to install this hoist. So the hoist come disassembled. We have to set the cylinders in. They'll go down in this main cradle here. They bolt to that, and then we bring the top of the cylinder up. The cylinder hooks into the top main frame tube there, and then this is a scissor hoist. Raises the box up. So we'll get the hoist on there. We've got to build the rail system. We've got a bunch of components here that have to go onto this truck. We've got a PTO in that box there, hydraulic pump, hydraulic valve body assembly, hydraulic hose, a bunch of hydraulic fittings. We've got a aluminum hydraulic oil tank sitting in this box here. Now we ended up finishing up planting corn here yesterday, and you'll kind of hear the pressure washer working out in the background here. We'll kind of show you what this, we'll kind of give you a before and an after as far as what this planter looks like. So we got done planting here last night, emptied all the fertilizer out of it, vacuumed all the corn out of it, and Alex is starting to wash it here now. So she started on that side, she's working her way down, and Sarah is working on getting the Pottinger Terra disc cleaned up. She's blown it all off, and she's starting to wash that now. We should probably ride up and give you a before and after of what that looks like as well. So we did have some minor problems with this planter, but nothing too awful crazy. It worked good throughout the whole year. Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and ride up. We'll see what Sarah's working on, give you a before and an after on that. If you recall, in the last video, we ended up patching in that hole on the that one cutter head there for the Pottinger mower. This is another cutter head for a it's a different series. I don't know if they call it an A10. We have the S10 or vice versa. But Jay is pulling all these spinners out of this one, and we're checking the bearings on it. It's not timed correctly. He's gonna get this all tore apart, and we're gonna check the bearings. There's no oil in it. It's got a little bit of water in there, and there's some rust in there as well. So we need to clean everything up on it and see how that goes. But these cutter heads are anywhere from $7 to $8 grand. So we'll take the old Himiway bike, up and check on Sarah here. They are emptying out the tanks. They already emptied out the tanks on the fertilizer truck, and they're just dumping hoses here now into the tanks. And Sarah went around this potting her disc with the air compressor a little while ago. There wasn't much on it, but she wanted to knock down the majority of the dust and whatever that was on there, and now she's working on getting it washed. And then they've got to order discs for this one. They're gonna go ahead and order those and get some new discs put onto it here. That way it will be ready for wheat. When we take the corn off, we'll use the potting or disc to disc up the corn stubble before we plant wheat. So we might as well go ahead and get down into the shop here and get some work done. But they pumped the fertilizer out of that truck. They've got a bunch of fertilizer in these hoses, and they just dumped out the hoses into the tanks. Now they're gonna rinse the tanks out so that we can fill them with water, the tanks that are on the truck. And we'll have that truck for water and hay if we run into a situation where the hay gets gummed up on us. So we'll go ahead and get some work done in the shop here. We got this hoist here all together, and we've been working on some other projects as the day has been going on here. Jason and Jacob have been working on cutter heads. So we welded the hole in that one cutter head here the other day, and then we had an older cutter head that we had used for parts. He's got that all tore apart. We'll show you that in a minute. And this is the cutter head out of the front mower on one of our older set of mowers that was actually hooked up on the back of the 4620. My brother was cutting hay with it last year, and it fell right out from underneath the mower. The left side here broke, cracked right there. And then the other side broke as well. I think that side there broke first, and then it was hanging from this side, and the whole thing fell on the ground. They strapped it and chained it up. Then we ended up buying a new one. So Jason and Jacob, they're gonna work on getting this back together. We're gonna have to make up another plate on that for that other side over there. And then this side here, we're just going to take some flat iron and get it in there. You'll kind of see how we end up doing that. So Alex has this corn planter about 3/4 washed, and what they're doing now is they're pulling the gauge wheels for the fertilizer discs off of the planter. Andrew's helping her. Andrew was running the bush hog, but he had a slip clutch go, and it ended up screwing up the shaft and everything else. You want my impact for that? Go in and get my little impact, Andrew. It's in that little cart. So they're going to pull all these gauge wheels off. We'll spray a little water in here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fluid film it, because we won't have to worry about it this winter coming up. But when it comes time to redo these fertilizer disc bearings, half of them damn gauge wheel shafts are gonna be all set up. So I need to get Alex a impact for that. So we're gonna go in and grab her an impact, and then we'll see how Sarah's doing. And we'll show you what's going on in the other side of the shop. But I'm gonna grab her an impact quick here. Here, use this impact. Make things a lot easier. So they're doing this over in the grass so that they ain't gotta kneel down in the mud that's in the driveway. So yeah, we have never done this to this extent before, but I'm sick and tired of having to screw around. Do you have 13 millimeter? That's 13? Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah. Well, we'll just take this bike on up and see how Sarah's doing. Well, she's got it unfolded now anyways. Yeah, making some mud on the concrete here. Well, looks like she's got, oh, about half left to go here. So, yeah. Well, back down to the shop we go. Coming in hot! Yee-hoo! Woohoo! Yeah. Nate shuts the door down right last thing. Well, this is a couple of the other projects that are going on here. Jared put this 740 loader on here the other day, and he is slowly replacing all of the hoses here on it. Hoses that go back to the SCVs and the hoses that come up front here to the curlback cylinders, the left cylinders, and everything else. And we've got the C5 in here. They're putting brakes into this. And it looks like he's got, I don't know, one left to do. I don't know what the heck he's got going on here. I thought he was putting canisters on it. But yeah, that and front brakes. So I'll show you this mower here. We've got this in this cold storage bay, kind of stuck in this one door here. Looks like this tire needs a little wind. But so this is the left side here, and then we've got the right side over on this side here. And this is where this is broke, so they've got to reinforce this and get it all welded once they set that down in underneath there. So that's that project. So before we can put the hoist on this truck, we've got to remove these air tanks. So I've got them all unhooked. We've got the lower one, got one on each side, and we've got the inner one on each side. that hoist is going to set into this hole right here. We're going to mount the hoist backwards. In other words, the scissor on the hoist is going to be going that way. On our two trucks, I am setting in this hole. And I have got it mounted standard, which the scissor is facing forward. The hoist doesn't require as much travel on the cylinders mounted in the standard position as it does in the reverse position. The cylinders come way up out of the frame here, and we've got to make sure that we are not too close to this cross member here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to unbolt these tanks, and we're going to put them up into this hole right here. So it looks like I might have to drill some holes. Yeah, I really don't know how they are. Yeah, well, we'll cross that road when we get to it. But at any rate, we've got to take these out. So we'll unbolt them and move them up to there. So we better get to moving here. So we have, oh, let's not talk too much about that telehandler now. Nathan is putting an alternator on this 4320, and we're gonna fire this old girl up here in a minute. Another thing he's gonna do is he's going to replace some battery boxes that are getting ready to fall out of it. These battery boxes are 20 years old. We painted this track, actually they're 23 years old. Aren't they, Nate? They're almost as old as you. We painted this tractor back in 2000. Or maybe it was 01. And it's due for another paint job, but we haven't really had the time for it, have we, Nathan? No, we've got too many other jobs going on, right? Yeah. That's some nice bird poop on your arm there. Alrighty, well, Jared's putting loom on all of his hoses. He thinks the loader is going to last 70 years. It's about 30 years old now, so it should last twice as long now. So, yeah. So we have the tanks just about removed. I've got one more bolt on this guy here. This one is out, but I've got some zip ties to cut on some air hoses, then I can pull them brackets out. I've got the corn planter moved over in front of the shop again. And we have not done this before, but we have removed all of the fertilizer disc gauge wheels. And Alex is going through now, and she is fluid filming it. So she has gone through, she's putting a little bit of fluid film on all these air connections on the pneumatic closing wheels. Then she's going to spray this fertilizer disc on each side. We'll show you what that looks like once she gets done here. But she's just going through and blasting them, just because some of the paint from the dirt splashing out. Oh, we got a bolt or a pin out right there. We're gonna have to put a new bolt in that. We did have trouble with these pins here. The heads of these pins are wore off, and I have replaced several of them with bolts. There's a 3/8 bolt there, actually a 10mm bolt. No, it is a 3/8 bolt. There, and so on and so forth, on down through the planter. So we're gonna have to do the same thing with the rest of them. So she's just getting fluid film right around there. Go right inside, do the nut, do the nut, and do the inside of that hole there, and then do both sides. So blast right in there. Andrew's out anti-seizing. You could actually do the whole disc. Just splash the whole disc, and then I'll get you some more hose. Then splash all around there just to cut down on the corrosion factor here. So Andrew's over in the lawn over here, and what he's doing is he is anti-seizing the stems for the gauge wheel assemblies. We're kind of overdoing it, but what I'm trying to do is cut down on the amount of teardown time that it takes to redo these fertilizer hub bearings. So he's painting these shafts with some anti-seize. He'll have anti-seize all over himself when he gets done here. I don't know if this is my brother here or my nephew. Everybody wave. Oh, it's Teddy. Oh, they are mowing the rest of the first cotton hay. So we'll get back to working on this truck here, and we'll show you what everything looks like with it all splashed with fluid film. Look at those fancy battery boxes. Alternator light go out. New belts. New alternator. New battery boxes. Those are the John Deere boxes, by the way, too. So the A&I ones, they're not that great. So yeah. So we now have this hole all open. We can bring that hoist over and set it in. Jason has his bracket all on there. He's welding that into place. And they're lifting it up now, and what they're going to do is they're going to get it up in the air so that he can weld the underneath side of it. And then we can roll this in underneath the... Tell him to level that out so it doesn't crash back on you. Then we'll get this underneath the machine and get it bolted into place, get it jacked up, and then they can fix that other side that's broken. So Andrew and Alex, they are working on getting these gauge wheels on. I thought they were working on it anyways. Yeah, they're out here working on it. Looking for more bolts, I think. So Alex washed it off, they pulled all the gauge wheels off, and then she has fluid filmed all of this. And of course, yeah, we can show you what it looks like. We got fluid film on the inside and the outside here. So we got fluid film on and around everything here. And that'll just keep it so that this stuff will all come apart when it comes time to rebuild these fertilizer discs. We should get next year out of them before we have to do them again, and then that way everything will come apart all nice like. Well, it looks as though Sarah's got this cleaned up pretty good. She just got a little bit of rinsing left to do here up on the top, so on. But that doesn't look too bad. What do you think? Huh? I don't know. You don't know? That looks pretty good. Just got to get up on the top there yet, right? Rinse it off one more time. Now you got some stuff up in that hitch too, so I guess you actually have quite a bit left. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So, yeah, well, all righty. So we've got that setting in place. We just need to square it up. We need to get our angle iron set. We'll drill some holes in there, weld the angle irons to this main hoist support, and then we can put our air tanks on. I need to put the hydraulic reservoir right here somewhere. I did remove the air dryer as well. The air dryer wasn't really in the way, but I didn't like it right here, so close to the tire. It's just going to be covered in mud, and we like to put a mud flap somewhere in here on the body. Anyhow, so we'll go ahead and get this squared up, and we'll join back up with you guys in the next video once we get it all squared and setting exactly where it needs to be here. They've got this thing just about done up here. They are welding some scabs on there to kind of join up with the crack on this backside. But this originally was just this piece here. That was the original part of the head. We went ahead and put a piece on it, like this side here. And when this piece here broke, it was hanging from that end, and then it just broke that piece there again. So hopefully this works, right, J-Balls?
I hope so.
Yeah, it should. So, well,
Find out.
yeah. I guess that's gonna do it, right, Jacob? What should you tell everybody to do? Nothing? Yeah, okay. Guess we do nothing. Okay, take it easy, folks. We'll catch you at the next one.